You know, more and more Black people are starting to speak up. They're starting to speak up on the community. And I don't blame us because we tired. See, what a lot of people don't understand is that there's a huge difference between regular Black folk and ninjas. Let me break it down for you. Ninjas want to stay in their horrible environments. They have no self-respect and no self-control. They go around unaliving, essaying, stealing, robbing. They don't care about each other. They don't take care of their neighborhoods. And they definitely don't take care of themselves. They don't care about their appearance. They outside loud and obnoxious. Bonnets and mink lashes, extremely long fingernails, sagging pants, smelling like an overwhelming odor of marijuana. And of course they the victim. They still complaining about something that happened 400 years ago, way before their time, way before their parents' time, way before their great-grandparents' time, way before their great-great-great-grandparents' time. Need I go on? And then we got regular Black folk. We take pride in our community. We are hardworking, ambitious individuals who definitely want to be segregated from all that nonsense. Our demeanor and our appearance speak volume. We understand that there's a time and a place for our behavior. And most of all, we respect one another. We are not victims. We are the ones without our Black card. So yes, Black fatigue is really real.
White people always be like, Black fatigue this, Black fatigue that. But then when Black people got business going on, you motherfuckers be the first to jump in it. Charlie Kirk got killed and Black people being attacked. God forbid we exist, the fuck?
First they said all lives matter. Then they said DEI. Now they're saying Black fatigue. Don't these people get tired of hating Black people? Like honestly, at this point, they must be bored. Just because you're not using a slur doesn't mean we don't know what your intentions are. We do. It's very obvious. It's very obvious. Like seriously, Black fatigue is a thing now? That's what we're doing now? I've been seeing that all over my timeline. Like seriously? Like, why can't you guys just leave us alone? Obviously, not all of you. But if the shoe fits, then wear it. Like, Black people simply existing is such a problem for certain people. And it's like, why? Why? Every now and then, there's some new term just to hate on Black people. And now it's Black fatigue. Like, get out of here with that.
Black fatigue is real. Everybody is tired of Black people, but it's two specific types of Black people that everyone is tired of. Number one, everybody is tired of loud, ghetto, and ratchet, and violent, and mean, and angry all the time. Everybody is tired of them. Nobody wants to deal with them. Even other Black people do not want to deal with these people. You know when you see them in public, you know when they're going to give you attitude at the CVS. Everybody knows it and they want to avoid it. The second group of Black people that everybody is tired of is this sort of like fake Black bougie intelligentsia who kind of like walks around telling everybody how they're supposed to think or speak or act when it comes to anything Black. These are the most privileged Black people in the world. These people have built enormous platforms and have so much money, and yet they are still perpetual victims all the time. And all they ever do is lecture white people about how to talk to or about Black people, and then they lecture other Black people if they don't talk or think or speak in ways in which they approve. Black fatigue is real. Everybody is so tired of both of these groups of Black people that they don't know what to do. So yeah, Black fatigue is real, and I got it.
Here are 50 things that have given me white fatigue.
Dear white people, since they can make a list of 50 things, I want you to give me 50 things that give you Black fatigue. I'm going to tell you, my list is probably longer than 50, but I'll let you start. This is a safe space, and I really don't give a damn. I want to hear what bothers you so much about hearing some of the stuff that they say about you. And I especially want to hear from the liberals that pander to these people.
And the list could go on, but here are just 50. Karen's calling the police on Black people for just existing. Mass shooters being described as troubled young men. Cultural appropriation without any appreciation. White
People in locks talking about spirituality. All lives matter. I don't see color. White creators becoming famous for watered down versions of black culture. Profiting off of black trauma on social media, weaponizing white tears, white savior complexes in real life and movies. I have a black friend as a get out of racism free card. White teachers punishing black students for being disruptive. Gentrification marked as urban revitalization, being followed in grocery stores like you don't belong, police called because someone looks suspicious, white...
Now, if you agree with her, that's your right. But I think a lot of this can be passed between every race of people. But for it to be like this outrage against only white folks seems to be racist to me. Seems to be a lot of bigotry and hatred. What do you think?
Honestly, if everybody is tired, you will not blame them, because who wants to deal with those kind of people that you just mentioned? Anyways, hi guys, welcome back again to the channel. If you're just tuning in, my name is Sonia, and thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you, and I do not take you guys for granted. And credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches that we have in our today's episode. As you guys can see, we are on our last episode of Black Fatigue, where we actually have some Black Fatigue rants, where people are actually coming out to like air out their opinion and let you know that yes, this is how it is, this is where it's coming from, this is why it's paining me, and this is why I'm expressing myself. And of which I like it. I like the fact that a lot of people are not coming out to speak, because if we do not speak, we keep quiet, it looks like we don't even know what we're doing, or we don't even know our left from our right. Am I right? Anyways, credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches that you guys actually see in today's episode. If you haven't subscribed. This is just for educational purposes, not to bash anyone. I'll go ahead and roll out the other clips I have for you guys, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go there, guys.
App just now to see that the word black fatigue is trending amongst a lot of different people. And before I made this video, I scrolled on it and I said, let me see what people are talking about.
Because black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, hoodrattery, animalistic. This is why people have black fatigue. I'm sick and tired of opening up TikTok and seeing brawls on cruise ships, brawls in the airport, like literally the most ghetto behavior. We're tired.
A white woman was talking about Shiloh Hendricks, the lady that called the 5-year-old the N-word. And she said, that shouldn't have happened, but people have black fatigue. People are tired of ghetto-ness, loudness. People are just tired of black people. So we all have fatigue. And it got me thinking, I've heard the phrase black fatigue before, and I know in my heart of hearts that that relates to the fatigue that black people experience existing in this country and around the world, dealing with racism and prejudices that have been put on us due to the history of violence, Jim Crow, segregation. So how are white people appropriating black fatigue? They replaced DEI with black fatigue. And you guys are using that because you're tired of being held accountable for things that you should be held accountable for in this country, and you want to be openly racist to us. This entire discourse is rooted in racism. You want to be able to say you're tired of black people for having a voice. You're tired of us for existing in spaces we exist in. You're tired of us for not all being poor. You're tired of the fact that some of us are doing better than you, but when we live in a country that is based on racism and systematic racism that still exists today, you can't be mad that we're calling you out for it. What the fuck are we talking about? America is a country that suffers from delusion, lack of education, and basically exists in a consistent state of dementia, because the cognitive dissonance that many white people have that exist in this country it alarms me. The fact that this country was founded and predicated on owning bodies and killing off natives. That is the foundation story of this country. Yes, we became one of the most successful countries in the world, but that is the heart and soul of this country. It is rooted in racism. The Declaration of Independence was rooted in racism. The Constitution was written with racism. So the fact that you think you can exist, and we're only out of segregation for how many years now? Not even a generation, not even 2 generations out of segregation. The fact that you think you can exist without racism internally inside of you is crazy. It's crazy. We're all racist. Everybody that exists out of a racist system is racist, especially if you are the one that benefited from said racism. You have to do a lot of unlearning, unpacking, and re-educating yourself onto what racism means, because you guys hear the word racism, you're like, I'm not racist, I have black friends. It doesn't mean you're going out with crosses on fire. There are levels to the internalized racism, the internalized biases versus violent, aggressive racism. But racism is the foundation of America. So the fact that you don't want to hear about it is not my problem. The funniest thing about white people in this country is that the lack of education that they have on their own history and how they've been all sold a lie and socialized to believe that they're here and we're violent and they're not is fucking crazy. You ever seen a redneck? You ever been to a trailer park? You ever seen a meth addict in New Mexico? That all of the people on welfare in this country are white. 96% of them are white. But meanwhile, black people are poor, uneducated, animalistic, violent. All the list goes on. Your ancestors literally killed off millions of people who are on this land, stole it, raped, robbed, killed them, stole us, raped, robbed, killed us, procreated with us, and made us procreate with each other and our families. Yeah, the list goes on. The only people who are sick with animalistic practices are you and your ancestors. Upon further review, after seeing 5 or 6 black people make this black fatigue video, it got me thinking into the respectability politics of this type of video they're making, because not only are they generalizing the actions of all black people and lumping us into one group, you are policing the actions of people per the standardized or acceptable behavior that white people are saying that we should have. Interesting. What you're doing by making these videos is you're allowing white people to not take accountability and not hold themselves to a standard that they can just be racist and prejudiced towards us and say that their behaviors are acceptable and their way of life and living is acceptable in this country, but ours isn't. It's really befuddling me that you as a black person can go online with your chest and say you have black fatigue because everybody's ghetto, or you have black fatigue because everybody's loud. That's not the fucking case. And even if you are, quote unquote, this highly educated, highly classy black person, you're still loud. You still have an auntie who looks like the person you're talking about. You still have cousins who are the people you're talking about. So why make this video? I will never understand black people that pander to white people. I will never. There's nothing in my being that would ever allow me to have an internal conversation externally on this app, so white people feel comfortable saying how they feel about us in the open and make it a whole thing. Imagine you are allowing white persons to say they have black fatigue. They're tired of black people being victims. They're tired of black people saying racism. They're tired of black people existing. Every day on this app is something new. Y'all gotta do better. Do better. White people are using black fatigue to be racist online. I put out 3 videos describing my white fatigue, and then I said I was gonna be done. But you guys just can't leave me alone. And since you're so fatigued, be fatigued enough to get off my page and stay out of our business, but you can't even do that, can you? The best thing about the responses of this video is that everything you're saying is a projection. You want to talk about people who glorify criminals. Let's talk about how there's over 133 films, documentaries, and shows fawning over white serial killers, mass murderers, and men who commit SA. How many white criminals have fan clubs? Tired of the privilege you have to come online and say you're tired of us when majority of white people don't live within proximity of black people. Ergo, you're looking for us or you're not minding your business. Just leave us the fuck alone. Repackaging things minorities make and saying you discovered it like Columbus. Mexicans with agua fresca, calling it spa water. Cornrows as the Kardashian braids. Sticky bangs as edges. Black moisturizing, what my grandma told me to do, as slugging. Using and co-opting our lingo like fuck around and find out. Dead ass, mind you, all while trying to label it Gen Z TikTok lingo. Creating the condition for an entire generation of black kids without fathers by creating the war on drugs, by pumping drugs into the communities and then heavily policing black men, all whilst giving white men lesser charges for the same crimes. Me and my first cousins being the first people on my mom's side of the family to be born with full rights in this country because they're a woman, and my mom was born when segregation ended. But because she's a woman, she didn't have rights in this country. Recruiting women and children into cults and then making them harm themselves. The media holding one black or brown person responsible for the entire group, but a white boy being able to be a lone wolf or very smart or kept to himself after committing a mass shooting or essaying a woman. Your grandfathers received assistance after the war. They received government assistance after the war to buy homes, which created in mass the current day white middle class. At the same time, that same GI Bill wasn't available to black veterans because why? Racism. And what did that prevent? That prevent black veterans from buying homes, having access to healthcare, having access to education, having access to employment, which further put black people where? In the ghetto. Wearing native costumes and wearing blackface, and then when you get caught doing it, you say, oh, it was just a fun little costume. Painting all black people as criminals when white on white crime is the highest amount of crime committed in this country. Walking around in public like you own the sidewalk and that you are the police and able to police people's actions. Newsflash, you're not the managers of the world. Looking at us and saying, go back to where you came from when my ancestors have been here longer than your Swedish or German ancestors were even a thought. Karens with bobs, actively seeking out victimization from black and brown people when we mind our business. White people being the highest users of pressed pills, cocaine, powders, shrooms, heroin, crack, but then we are the ones that get associated with said behavior. Middle-aged men designing drugs and pumping drugs into systems, into middle-class neighborhoods, into lower-class neighborhoods, into high-class neighborhoods, causing and perpetuating the opioid crisis that we're currently going through. White men producing 75% of the content that floats around the world that includes underage children. Lastly, white people in this country being the biggest narcissists with the highest rates of cognitive dissonance to ignore your history and ignore the conditions that you created for us to be who we are, for Latinos to be who they are, for Asians to be who they are, for brown people to be who they are, for gay people to be who they are, for trans people to be who they are, and then blame us for it. So once again, if you're so tired of me and my people, stay the fuck out of my comments and stay away from me. Have the day you deserve. Stay blessed to everybody else who's not racist. And just a sidebar, for all the white people in these comment sections, you have been a blessing. And the fact that you know and you understand and you can identify that these videos are not about you says that we have come a long way as a people. And it's up to you guys to really drive this message home to your fellow kinfolk, because nothing I said is not factual, and people get their feelings hurt because they've been sold this lie for so long that, like I said, you guys are here and we're down here, and anything that's said to white people that they don't like, they call it racist. And I'm like, it's not racist. Nothing I said is racist. It's just facts. Ciao.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy all of that clips that I have for you guys. So we're going to do a critical breaking down of the black fatigue and then the white fatigue, right? And let's see the one that imparts or the one that creates more disadvantage to the economy, right? So let's start with black fatigue. The long-lasting exhaustion, which is a definition, is a long-lasting exhaustion black people feel from systemic racism, discrimination, and inequality. Source: oppression, fighting against unfair system and stereotype, violence and daily microaggression. Impact on individuals: chronic stress, poor health, lower productivity, emotional burnout from constant survival mode. Impact on social economic: underutilization of black talent because of discrimination blocks opportunities, higher healthcare costs from stress-related illness, deep social inequality, protests, instability, distrust in institution. Now let's go to the white fatigue. Definition: the frustration, defensiveness, or exhaustion some white people feel when confronted with conversation about a race, privilege, or racism. Source: discomfort, being challenged to face racism, their own advantage, or to unlearn biased belief. Impact on individuals: resilience to change. I am tired of talking about racism. Desire to withdraw from facial injustice conversation. Impact on society economy: slow down progress towards equality, block policy changes, example, education reformed, workplace diversity. Create individuals when white fatigue turn into a denier or a backlash. Now, which is more dangerous? To black people, black fatigue is more harmful because it shortens life, limit opportunities, and continue cycles of poverty and inequality. To the economy and country, black fatigue wastes human potential, billions lost in wages, creativity, innovation, and leadership. White fatigue, on the other hand, blocks solution when white people refuse to engage with racism systematic problem, stay in peace. Together, they form a vicious cycle. Black fatigue keeps black people drained and disadvantaged, White fatigue prevents the majority who holds power from fixing the system. You can see where a lot of this problem is coming from. I said it in most of my videos. I said, why not these people look for a way to fix what has already been broken? Fix it instead of creating more words, putting out more words that will still make these people see that you do not really love them. Creating stereotypes, creating more fatigue on these people. Most dangerously overall, white fatigue, because if those in power shut down conversation and refuse to change, the country remains stuck in inequality. And inequality always weakens the economic, democracy, and social stability. Look for a way and fix it. White people, stop complaining and fix what you people have already scattered, because you people are the one that is in the hierarchy. You people are in the one that is in the high spaces. You people are in the one that is in the White House. It's not me. Look for a way and fix it instead of always coming online to be like, oh, black people are black fatigue, white people are white fatigue. We don't need to keep debating this over and over again. We just need a system that can actually work. The problem is, are these people ready to make the system work, to make the system suitable for every single person, to make the system equal? I doubt, and I'm scared it cannot happen. But anyways, I think I tried with my research. I just think so. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And yes, with no further ado, I do have inequality in my videos. I'm going to be saying bye now. See you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.